Have you ever scrolled through Instagram and seen all the influencer girlies with their expensive bags, fancy clothes, lavish apartments, and like they're somehow always on vacation? And you're like, how are they making enough money for this? Or when like every influencer in LA seems to be at Coachella or have the newest, most like trendy lip filler and plastic surgery. Like none of that is free. In fact, it's crazy expensive. There are rumors of what influencers get up to overseas to fund their lifestyle, as well as shell company boutiques, online course scams, and there's even darker theories too. So what's the truth? How are they pulling this off? Is influencing as lucrative as it seems, or is literally everything online just fake now? And if people are faking it, isn't flexing fake wealth online kind of sad? Madeline Coleman, a New York journalist, had the same questions. And in a new feature on The Cut, she bravely asked an influencer directly about her finances. And it's kind of nuts. The influencer in question, Maryam Nassir Zadeh, has been a mainstay New York fashion designer and influencer for a long time. Her self-named brand and boutique clothing store are popular with a sort of specific, rich, creative crowd. Not to be mean, but it's very much like those brands where it's hard to tell if the clothes are actually nice or if the person wearing them is just thin and rich. Like, I'm just being honest. And yeah, I checked their website and they don't stock my size in anything, so, you know. Her first big success for the brand was a pair of 90s inspired mules in 2011, and they sold out almost immediately. Then they started hosting fashion shows where all the coolest women around were in attendance. Like Solange performed at one. Very cool. The brand was popping off between 2015 and 2019, but these days, it's not what it used to be. But from looking at Maryam's Instagram, her lavish trips, gorgeous home, stunning outfit, perfect skin, you wouldn't think the brand is struggling. So what's going on here? It's a small brand. It surely can't be bringing in this extreme amount of money, right? Madeline Coleman wanted to know, so she asked Maryam, and she got to the bottom of it. For starters, she uncovered that Maryam grew up upper middle class in Calabasas, where the Kardashians live, so family money. Who's surprised? In 2008, she and her husband took out a $300,000 loan to start her first store/showroom, and things grew from there. Like, okay, neither of those things are surprising. Like, yeah, she's got some family backing and obviously enough capital to borrow $300,000. But here's where it gets weird. According to an employee in 2022, the company only sold around 3,000 pairs of shoes that year. That is not good and is a steep decline from the brand's peak in the 2010s. So where is the money coming from for these fancy-dancy vacations? Well, when the company was more successful, Maryam was able to take luxury trips on the company because the trips were for inspiration. So you could write that off as a business expense, I guess. I couldn't possibly design clothes for the average wealthy New York creative without this glamorous trip to Ibiza. And I get it. I'd do it too. Can't judge. It's also because these clothes, they're expensive. This tank top is over $600. This see-through white top is $800. Shirts, check out these margins. They're great. So the mystery kind of sold, family money and exuberant prices, and shout outs to Maryam for being honest about it all, and not exactly what influencers are known for. I think it kind of speaks to how much money people are willing to spend on being cool, you know? Like you see Solange wearing something, so you buy it, that's fair enough. Maryam to me represents a more millennial age bracket of influencers, you know, like more blogs, more linens, more like stuff from scratch, chill girl vibes. But what about the Gen Zs? What are they doing to display wealth online, and where are they getting all this money? There are a few ways influencers trick you into thinking they're rich, but why do it in the first place? Obviously, being rich is a great flex on everyone who was mean to you in high school, but it also leads to more followers, which is the name of the game here. If you can trick your followers into thinking you're rich and therefore worth watching, you can eventually make the money you're pretending to have. Projecting an inspirational level of wealth to get those little dopamine hit clicks, it works too. I mean, you totally can get rich from influencing if you nail it. Brand deals can range from the hundreds into the hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on your follower count. So worth it, even if it's based on a lie? There's a trend on YouTube where vloggers will use Photoshop and other tricks to pretend to be rich online. There's literally so many ways to do it. I honestly didn't know how simple it was. Young influencers are even snapping up empty designer packaging like boxes and bags to pretend they've just been on a Lush shopping spree. If you go on Depop and search empty bag or empty box, you'll find a load of results. Empty packaging from Dior, Chanel, Hermes, Tiffany's, all so you can pose with it and pretend you actually own the item that was inside. This designer recycling bin fodder isn't even that cheap either. Some of these empty boxes go for like $100. An anonymous designer reseller told Input magazine that a lot of her clientele are influencers and they want the empty boxes. She said, "At first I thought it was to maybe store some stuff at home or to recycle as a gift box for someone. I didn't know they used it for Instagram shoots." You can also rent out a fake private jet moment to get a photo pretending to be living that Kardashian-esque high life for only $50 an hour. You too can pretend to ride in a private jet. All of your friends will be jealous and they totally won't question how you got on a private jet with your no money. So yeah, there are some influencers faking it till they make it. What's new? What's the problem? Well, it's a little scammy, right? Like, it's harmless mostly until these people start trying to sell you stuff. Remember Fire Festival? This influencer who I'm low-key obsessed with named Madison, she claims on TikTok to be the CEO of a massive public company in China. She does crazy rich people shit like buy a capybara, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on Japanese host bars, and close down the Chanel store to buy ugly sweaters. Madison also sells masterclasses on how to get rich. For just $20 a month, you too can be the CEO of a public company by 24. You can buy a capybara. So far, nobody has actually been able to figure out which company Madison owns or her actual net worth. And while it looks like Madison might actually be rich, it makes you question why somebody with that much money would run a masterclass for only $20. It speaks to that aspirational idea around social media that viewers get drawn in by outlandish spending and expensive exotic pets. First, because it is interesting, but second, because you think, I wish I could live like that. And that's how they get you. But what about the ones that aren't faking it? There's so many influencers who appear to have extreme levels of wealth at a young age. And yes, most of it probably is from brand deals or rendezvous with rich athletes or billionaire businessmen looking for a baddie. But there is a way darker rumor about where these IG bad gals are getting their cash. Trigger warning, this next bit is fully disgusting. I can't even list all the triggers. If you're squeamish, I would just go. I'd just take what you learned already and go. It's often referred to elegantly as Dubai porta potty, which is the practice of flying out attractive Instagram models to Dubai and loading them up with obscene amounts of cash to perform or endure horrific sex acts. The whole thing was just a nasty rumor for many years, but it's been confirmed a few times now with various women coming forward over the last few years to share their harrowing experiences. If the name doesn't give it away, there is unfortunately poop involved and more. The whole thing is essentially a party for bored and depraved billionaires and a big opportunity for influencers to get their money up at a massive cost. Check out this clip of women who have experienced this. I think it's better you hear it in their own words. I don't want to say it.
When they want to shit, you open your mouth like this, you lie down. You lie down like this, and then you open your mouth, and then you have to eat. You have to eat the poo-poo.
One of the more viral stories that's been shared around about this situation is this one. It is fully up. The poster, who is allegedly somebody who experienced one of these trips, said she went to Dubai on her friend's dime after she suggested she visit. While she was there, a man approached her and made her an offer of over $50,000 and a designer shopping trip in exchange for spending one night with him. A friend told her it was normal, so an agreement was made, and after a big shopping trip, things took an absolutely horrible turn. The post says, "I thought I would only have to deal with one man. Everything was changing already. No, I don't even have words. It was far more than I could handle that night. I was their sexual object. Actually, the object of their sexual sadism. They penetrated me in all the holes, they put me on a leash, and I was forced to have sex with a dog, and big. I couldn't speak. They tied me up with a gag that had a pink ball. They shoved things into my ass and vagina. They choked me with their dick till I threw up multiple times, made me drink my vomit, one on my face and in my mouth. I was forced to swallow all that cake and a bunch of other unexplainable The dog thing has unfortunately come up a lot, which is truly horrible. It's clear this woman was misled about what was going to happen. So is that Trafficking kind of sounds like it to me. But many influencers go into this situation willingly because the money is just too good. People sacrificing their mental health and physical well-being for money is giving in-game capitalism boots. But it also raises some big questions. How far are people willing to go to maintain the illusion of wealth and success? Is an online persona worth the cost of mental health, privacy, and even personal integrity? When does ambition cross the line into dangerous situations of manipulation, both of the audience and of oneself? This also isn't getting better, by the way. Being an influencer was the top dream job for teens aged 13 to 17, according to a survey conducted by YouGov. So no matter what, young people are still idolizing a glitzy online life because from the outside, it does look easy and nice and fun. As consumers of this content, we need to keep our wits about us. What we're being sold isn't always real, and a lot of what we look at is often just a well-curated fantasy. I do just feel sorry for a lot of these people, not in a mean way at all, but to me it just feels like quite a shallow or empty life full of lies, illusions, and an immense pressure to keep the appearance up. In a world where perception is power, how much of ourselves are we willing to lose to chase a fleeting image of success?